Press.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and beloved ICMA family. It's my great honor to welcome you to all this special occasion, the International Guest Lecture, as the part of the fourth anniversary of Indonesian Young Accounting Scholar Association, or ICMA. Today, we gather under the thought-provoking theme, Survival or Collapse of Japanese Companies After the COVID-19 Pandemic Era. Predicting corporate fate through data analytics. This theme reminds us that the data-driven insights are vital to understanding the business resilience and shaping future strategies. To begin our session with pride and unity, let us hear together the Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. I kindly ask the operator, Mr. Muhammad Rifandi, to share the screen and play the anthem. Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate the fourth anniversary of ICMA, it is essential to reflect on the journey of ICMA. For this, I kindly invite Ms. Nadia Eka Putri, SAMAK, to present the profile of ICMA. Please welcome Ms. Nadia Eka Putri.
Thank you, Mr. Teguh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and members of ICMA family. This is Nadia Eka Putri speaking. And in this opportunity, I would like to introduce you all to our organization, ICMA. First of all, I would like to apologize for not activating my camera right now due to some technical difficulty. And now, please allow me to share my screen to introduce you to our organization. Okay, so on this first page, here is our tagline, our ICMA tagline, United, Synergize, and Collaborate. And as we can see over here, ICMA stands for Ikatan Cendekiawan Muda Akuntansi. All right, so here is the welcome address from the ICMA president, Mr. Raffles Ginting, SAMAK. Let me read it to you. Welcome to Ikatan Cendekiawan Muda Akuntansi, an organization that brings together young accounting academics from across Indonesia as a dedicated community committed to advancing the field of accounting through academic development, ICMA serves as a platform for young scholars to share knowledge, strengthen competencies, and collaborate in enhancing the quality of accounting education in Indonesia. ICMA emerges amidst the rapid developments and challenges of modern accounting, where young academics play a crucial role in research, teaching, and developing new approaches that align with industry and societal needs. Through various programs such as workshops, joint research, scientific publications, and symposiums, ICMA is committed to supporting its members in producing impactful and innovative academic work. We believe that collaboration among academics is the key to overcoming global challenges and driving advancements in the accounting field. At ICMA, young scholars can expand their networks and exchange ideas in an inspiring and dynamic environment, thereby strengthening the quality of their research and teaching. We invite all young academics who are passionate about change and highly dedicated to join us in building a strong ICMA community. Together, we can contribute to shaping the future of accounting with a solid scientific foundation
Kedua,
and
satu
unwavering
doang.
integrity.
Nggak tahu. Lagi di Zoom saya. Nggak di TikTok. Lagi di Zoom.
All right. Next is the timeline of how ICHMA was founded. So the association began in 2018 with informal discussions among young accounting lecturers in April, followed by the creation of a WhatsApp group in May in the same year. This digital platform served as the foundation for building a professional community among young accounting educators across Indonesia. And after almost 3 years of informal networking, the group decided to formalize their association in March 2021. And the organizational structure quickly took shape with the recruitment of members, establishment of a National Advisory Board, or DPN in Bahasa, and formation of the ICHMA Executive Board in April 2021. And legal formalization occurred in July 2021 with the signing of the notarial deed giving ICHMA official status under Indonesian law. And then ICHMA was officially founded in October 2021 at Universitas Tanjung Pura, Pontianak, in the province of West Kalimantan in Indonesia. Since then, the organization has maintained its institutional presence through annual anniversary celebrations. The first anniversary at Universitas Pancasila in Jakarta in October 2022, and the second one at Binus University in Tangerang in October 2023, and the third one at UPN, Universitas Veteran Yogyakarta in October 2024. So this timeline demonstrates ICHMA's successful transformation from grassroots initiative to a professionally managed organization that now serves as an important network for young accounting scholars throughout Indonesia. And this is our vision, to become an organization that fosters a generation of young lecturers who are professional and competent in accounting, enabling them to develop innovative ideas in carrying out the three dharma of higher education. Additionally, ICHMA aims to nurture outstanding talents as the future leaders of the nation, contributing to the development and advancement of Indonesia. And we have 8 missions in this organization. The first one is equipping accounting lecturers with professional training to effectively carry out the three dharma of higher education with strong faith and devotion to God Almighty. And the second is enhancing the research capabilities of young accounting lecturers, enabling them to conduct excellent and up-to-date research. The third mission is providing a platform for young accounting lecturers to engage in three dharma activities, including journal publications, book writing, and other academic contributions. The fourth mission is organizing training and human resource development programs to improve the capabilities of accounting lecturers. The fifth one is establishing collaborations with various institutions and companies, both nationally and internationally, to enhance lecturers' capabilities and facilitate research partnerships. The sixth mission is empowering accounting lecturers with the necessary resources and skills to advance their careers. The seventh mission is conducting community service programs as a platform for applying and sharing academic knowledge with society. And the last but not least mission is creating opportunities to nurture outstanding talents as the generation of national leaders. And we have held so many kinds of work programs. We have held so many webinars so far, starting from the academic writing or the webinars that focus on research and many more. We have focused on so many scopes of our profession as lecturers here. Yeah. Okay. And the next one is the organization structure of our organization, ICMA. This is Mr. Raffes Ginting as AMAK, the president of ICMA. And here are the secretaries and the treasurers. And then we also have expert staff and special staff led by Mrs. Ika Swasti Putri as AMAK as the head of staff. And we also have some special staffs to the president, and we also have some expert staff for good governance and risk mitigation. And also we have around 17 departments in ICMA, led by these incredible and inspiring people. We have Department of Research and Innovation, Department of Education, Learning and Curriculum, Department of Community Engagement, Department of Membership, Department of Media, Information and Communication, and then Department of Public Relations and Institutional Collaboration, Department of Career Development, Skills and Further Studies, Department of Literacy and Scientific Publication, Department of Business Partnerships and Creative Economy, and then Department of Journals, Department of Data Center and Technology, Department of Social Affairs, Department of Writing and Book Publishing, Department of Reasoning and Scientific Development, Department of Organization, Association and Human Resources, and Department of International Resources and Regional Sectoral Division. And we also have some team leader structure and coordinator structure. Yeah, there are so many people involved in this organization. So what are you waiting for? Join ICMA now. And here are the some of the requirements or the things that you must do if you are interested in joining in this organization. You may also contact our contact person, Mr. Agustinus Winoto and Mr. Imade Widi Hartawan, and here are the WhatsApp numbers that you can reach out to. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you, and I'll return the spotlight to the MC of the day. Thank you, Mr. Teguh.
Thank you for the presentation, Ms. Nadia. Indeed, ICMA continue to grow as a platform of collaboration, learning, and professional contribution. If you would like to become a member of ICMA, you are warmly welcome. Please contact the person whose details have already been presented during this session. Okay, before we begin, let us start this meaningful session with a gratitude. We would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Ilyas Junjunan, MA, to lead us in prayer. To Mr. Muhammad Ilyas, the time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Teguh. Good morning and greetings all. Before we begin today's series international lectures, allow me to lead a prayer that our activities will run smoothly, be beneficial, and bring goodness to all. Allow me to invite all the participants to bow their heads for a moment and pray to God Almighty according to their respective belief. I will lead the prayer according to Islam. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Allahumma sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaitana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana dhalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmah wa hayyi' lana min amrina rasyada. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban. Amin. Amin. Ya Rabb. Pray to all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will return. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad Ilyas. May today event bring knowledge, inspiration, and blessing to us all. Okay, before we begin our session, allow me to kindly remind all participants of a few simple webinar rules to ensure our program runs smoothly and effectively. First, please rename yourself with your full name and institution or organization. Second, unless you are speaking, keep your microphone mute to avoid background noise. And third, question and comment can be submitted through the chat box. You can use the raise hand feature if you wish to speak during the Q&A. Fourth, maintain a professional and polite attitude at all times. Fifth, if you face any technical problem, kindly contact the operator through the chat box. And the last one, don't forget to fill out the attendance form that will be sent to the participant at the end of the session. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. By following these simple rules, we can create a respectful and productive learning environment for everyone. Okay, before we continue, allow me to share with you the Warta of ICMA. It is a brief update on the upcoming ICMA activities this week. Let me share my screen. Okay, that was a Warta Ijma. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to lecture session, let us take a moment for official documentation. We kindly invite all the participants to smile and pose as we capture this memorable occasion. We will take a tree capture. Please turn on your camera. Okay, first one in 1, 2, 3. Okay, second capture in 1, 2, 3. Okay, last one in 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Next, we will begin the lecture and discussion session. To guide us through this important part of the lecture, allow me to introduce our distinguished moderator, Miss Elga Yulindisti, SAK, MAK. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is the CV of Miss Elga Yulindisti, SAK, MAK. She completed her education in the Master of Accounting Universitas Tanjung Pura in 2021 until 2023. She completed also the Bachelor of Accounting in Universitas Tanjung Pura from 2017 until 2021. Her working experience as below is she now serves as a lecturer in accounting in Faculty of Economic and Business Universitas Tanjung Pura from 2024 until now. Also, she served as Executive Management Indonesian Institute of Accountant, Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia in 2024 until now. She also served as a head of International and Foreign Affairs Department, Indonesian Young Accounting Scholars Association or ICMA, and also expert team member of Regional Financial Risk Management Development Kuburaya Regency in 2025. She also taught a lot of course, for example, financial management, advanced financial management, strategic management, leadership, and so on. She also have a lot of conference experience, research book publication, and community engagement experience, as you can see in this slide. In summary, her profile highlight not only academic excellency, but also leadership and dedication in advancing the accounting profession and contributing to society. Okay, without further ado, I now hand over the session to our moderator. Please welcome Miss Elga Yulindisti, SAK, MAK. Miss Elga,
Yeah.
time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Teguh, as a MC. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the International Guest Lecture held by the ICMA for the celebration of the 4th anniversary. I'm Elga Yulindisti. Today, I will be your moderator for this session. So, as we know, the global economy has changed significantly after this COVID-19 pandemic. So, while many countries have a fast business failure and economic contractions, so Japan over a unique case of the resilience of that. So, often challenging, we call the lost decade narrative. So, today, that we would like to have a question about how do we truly measure of the corporate survival and economic health in the post-pandemic era? So, to explore the complex issue, we are honored to welcome our distinguished speaker, whose expertise with this topic, Professor Cindy Yoshiko Shirata. Before we begin our prof material, let me explain background of the Prof Cindy. Operator can help me to share the CV.
May I share that screen by myself? Okay, I can do that.
I think operator will help to. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay. Is it okay?
Okay. Professor Cindy, maybe I will be explain your personal your background first. let me explain the Professor Berger first. Okay, Professor Cindy Yoshiko Shirata have an auditor for the okay.
Lagi?
Let me share the CV first. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, let's
so
start. Is it okay?
yeah, so Professor Cindy, an auditor is from the National University Ibaraki, and also the auditor for the Japan College of Social Work. Professor Cindy has 26 years of teaching experience in undergrad course, master course, and also PhD. So course including 16 years teaching in English for each student in master and also PhD classes. So Professor Cindy also have been working for the company, including the PwC for the 20 years, also have a focus on the research Japan's economic condition for the corporate bankruptcy point of view and received some award for the research paper. Also, Prof. Cindy have doing as a chairperson of the management research group of the Science Council of Japan, and also the secretaries general of the Science Council of Asia, representing all the scientific council of the 20 Asian country, and also a member of the government council for a long time, also legislative council of the Ministry of Justice for the 10 years, and council chairman of the road tax rating council of Tokyo regional taxation for 8 years. So many experience that who expertise by Prof. Cindy. I think so. Without further ado, now we can uh, listen our material by Prof. Cindy. So Prof. Cindy, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I shared my screen again. Thank you so much for the introduce me. And is it okay? Oh no, how come? Oh, I would like to share this one. So, okay. So, terima kasih invite me this session and saya suka Indonesia and last year saya jalan ke Yogyakarta and saya enjoyed at the conference. So, today I would like to present that the Japanese companies, Japanese economic condition after the pandemic. So, some press or so many news express or they expanded that Japanese economic conditions really bad after the pandemic era. But I would like to show you that the okay, real number of the Japanese economic condition or Japanese companies' current condition. So important point is basically, I always analyze that financial data to predict their financial position. So that is so-called bankruptcy prediction. That model is very well known around the world. But now I'm sometimes says that not the bankruptcy prediction, but my model is sustainability analysis model. So not find worse financial position group, but try to get that better financial position group. That's very important. So let's start my presentation. I quickly talk about my today's content. So quickly self-introduction, but already introduced. So I don't want to spend so much time. So current economic condition, because my main topic is analyze the corporate position using financial data. But today I try to introduce that real Japanese economic condition by government data. So not only focusing on the particular company, but that kind of macro data is so important. So, sorry, how come? Mm, How come? Can you Can you share that screen?
Now we can see the screens.
Is it working?
Okay now.
Okay. Is it okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay. So already introduced by myself. So quickly introduced by myself. I'm teaching after I was working for the auditing firm as a consultant. Then I shifted to teach, and it's already more than about 30 years. So, and also, if you're interested in my research paper, then you can check about ResearchGate. Some of them you can download from there directly. So please check about that. So today's topic. So I want to inform you, I want to tell you the reality of the Japanese business condition right now. So what is the most important factor that they keep Japanese companies running their business continuously? Sustainability, that's important. So its boom also in Japan use AI or former statistical tool to analyze the corporate position. But important point is analyzed data is not future data. Okay, so past data we analyze, but AI or that kind of statistical tool cannot predict in the future. So important point is we have to know that current real condition. So for instance, first, we would like to confirm that market trend or stock price in Japan. So this is a trend of the Nikkei stock price trend between that 1980 to 2022, 23. This amount is the current one. We cannot see that. This 45,000 yen was the last, yesterday's data. So we calculate this one by exchange rate compare with bubble economy. That's very peak season before was so-called bubble economy, very good financial position era. Now it's more than that. But this is Japan stock price. But important point is that is influenced by the exchange rate, yen dollar exchange rate. So yen is so strong, so the rate is so high. At that time, stock price is decreasing. Now stock price is increasing. But that is Japan. So shareholder purchase share in yen. But the background had been changing a lot. This one mentioned that this line is the foreign investors rate. So foreign investors rate is very increasing in recent years. So for instance, 1985, very high stock price era, almost all owner of the share in Japan is Japanese. So Japanese individual person or Japanese companies holding Japanese companies share. So they don't care about the exchange rate or something. They try to protect our countries, our business by ourselves. But now that is changing a lot. So the investors are not so much interested in corporate behavior or profit or return. They are monitoring only that exchange rate. And also yesterday, the United States announced that down the interest rate 0.25%. Not yet, but suddenly stock price in Japan is increasing because of course that they are not interested in save the money in the bank because interest rate become lower, then shifted to the market, but not market in the United States. Market in Japan purchase stock in dollar. So yen exchange rate is lower and lower. That means that United States side higher and higher. So their purchasing price is decreasing. So suddenly the exchange rate have been changed. They sell it. Then they get certain return. So the structure of the stock market in Japan had to be changing. That is nothing to do with that real economic condition in Japan. So Have you ever seen that Suntory? Very well-known whiskey company in Japan. YKK, fastener company, or for instance, Japan Travel Bureau. Maybe you know that. Do you know that Daiso? There's so many Daiso around the world. Also that's insurance, very well-known insurance company or cell phone company. Family Mart, you know that. All of them are not public company. Nothing to do with that stock market. Now, Hibiki or Suntory whiskey becomes so expensive. I cannot buy that the duty free shop. Their business is so good. But that is nothing to do with the market because they are not listed company, right? So this one is very interesting data announced by European Central Bank in 2023. They announced that there are so many corporate uh, downgrade of their rating during the spread the COVID-19 era. So United States or Europe or America, Asia, most of them downgrade is more than upgrade, spread the COVID-19 era. But please look at this one. Asian countries, exclusive Japan, not included, excluded Japan. So yes, okay, somebody raise your hand. Okay. Oh, how can I do that?
I
Is
think
there any, are you okay?
no, the discussion will be later, so we can continue.
Yeah, do you have any questions right now?
No, no, I think the audience will be have a session for the question answer later, bro.
Sorry, again?
So Professor can continue the material first.
Okay, I can continue. Okay, then later on, if you have any questions, please ask me. So anyway, that kind of the European Central Bank information informed that impact of pandemic up to the corporate rating, Japan exclusive Japan, because Japanese economic conditions really good during spread the pandemic. Then, how is the asset value in Japan? So many government places that influence of that pandemic and land price and stock is decreasing. Stock did not decreasing because that's a big point. Land place is very important point of the Japanese company's asset value. So making a loan from the bank at that time, bank secured their asset because they are not sure that they can completely to pay back all the loan. So bank has that secured the asset. If they have a high amount of the asset, bank making a loan of about 80 or 70% of the value of the asset. So that's quite unique point. So GDP during the bubble economy era, 1985 or this era, Japan's GDP growing stage here percentage is so high. Compared with United States, Japan was so nice, quite similar to the German, but compared with other countries, so good. So Japanese companies try to expand their business. But when they expand their business, they need certain money to purchase another company or asset or something. So companies borrowing the huge amount of the money from their bank. At that time, they secured their land price. So this is their changing the land price in Japan. So basic years 1983, that is 100. Then during so-called bubble economy, land price increasing so much, 400% or something. So banks secured these assets and making a huge amount of the loan to the company. But that era is not so long here. Then suddenly land prices not decreasing, return the original price. So after that, the land price is not so much changing so much. So quite a stable amount of the value of the land price. But bank make a loan, lend a loan to the company, secured these asset value. So value is decreasing. What happened? the bank asked the company to repayment as soon as possible. So the company, their contract between bank and the company is maybe that 10 years loan or 15 years loan, but suddenly bank asked the company to repay right now. So what happened in Japan? So Japan, they hesitate to make a loan anymore. Oh, they told a lie. Then something they suddenly to ask us a repayment. So the Japanese market, Japanese trend of their management or companies has been changing. That's influence to the market. So during the bubble economy, that chart showing that blue line is the owner's equity ratio. Pink one is that the retaining earnings. So before the bubble economy, these owner's equity ratio is not so high, less than 30% or something. So these lines ROE was so high because that their owner's equity ratio is not so high. But after that, bank said repayment as soon as possible. So the CEO or corporate never borrowing the money anymore. We do not believe their words. Then they accumulate their owner's equity internally for their business. So total asset size has not been changed. Only that reducing the borrowings and increasing the owner's equity. So compare with the ROA, so return is the same to the ROE, but ROE is decreasing, but ROA is almost stable. Same return, but to the asset are the same.
Sorry, madam, can I ask some questions?
Yeah, right now, okay?
So you mean by this article, the COVID-19 pandemic have a positive impacts to the Japanese public companies, or maybe I misunderstood. So
Sorry, I can.
so you mean
Misunderstood.
uh the COVID-19 pandemics, it's after, yeah, ma'am, after the
Yeah,
COVID-19 pandemics, uh that pandemic makes a contribution to owners equity, increase the owners equity to Japanese
yeah,
public company.
yeah. So I mean that pandemic era is only here, only right hand side, only here. But before that, Japanese companies has that kind of experiences fighting with the bank. So before spread the COVID-19, Japanese companies already before starting the COVID-19, reducing the loan and accumulating the owner's equity. Then COVID-19 spread after that. So they they don't have any borrowings. So their business is quite stable because they do not necessary to repayment. Do you understand?
Oh, so it must be stable, more
Yeah,
stable.
yeah.
Mm,
This sample
after
is all, yes, this one is all public companies data. More than
mm,
10 million data
oh,
divided by year and a year. So important point is not split the COVID-19. No, 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 no. Before that, Japan
before
already ready for bad financial position. Then
uh,
suddenly COVID-19 come.
the
Then,
bubble economics.
yeah, so they are already ready for that bad situation. So,
Oh, yeah.
do you understand?
Okay, yeah, I see, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
I can show that, yeah, more data. Is it okay? I can continue. So this one is that former one is public companies data, but this one is non-public data, small SMEs. So SMEs data, we can check about that. Also that this more than 2 million companies in Japan, but average of the owner's equity ratio in June this year, average is more than 44%. So not only public company, all Japanese companies little bit hate to borrow the money from the bank. So they accumulated their profit, then They purchase goods from their accumulated profit. They pay that salary from their accumulated profit. So important point is not profit and loss. They are always monitoring the balance sheet, how much they borrow money, ratio of the borrowings, and owner's equity point. That's very important. Japanese companies focusing on. So this is a new trend of the Japanese companies. And this one is owner's equity ratio compared with the United States or Europe. So Japan is really high. It's still that 2020 data. But at this era, still so high because we had the bad experiences like a bubble economy fighting with the bank. So how about the bankruptcy cases? Is it increasing? But financial positions, maybe that bankruptcy is increasing. But this one is that Japan introduced that fluctuation rate. That's the same years, more than 50, 53 years or something. Then this one, we have very difficulty because that currency exchange rate is suddenly decreasing. Then this era is a bubble economy. But it says that we lost 30 years. These years, please check out, please confirm that the bankruptcy is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Even in the spread the COVID-19 era, they are lowest ever. And it says that, oh, recent 2 years, the number is increasing. But important point is red one is ratio. So bankrupt ratio to total companies, that is almost the same as that the bubble economy era. That is lowest ever. Why ratio is not so increasing, a little bit increasing, but compared with the number is increasing, cases increasing, but the ratio is still low. Because important point is now Japan newly established companies, that is highest ever. It's a boom to establish new companies. So it is the trend from the 2000 to the 2025. So the new companies is 153,000. So total number is increasing. So of course that the bankrupt cases increasing, that is just a ratio. But important point is founders' age is so high. So that is Japanese trend right now. So how about the per debt for bankrupt cases? No. Big company had been going to bankrupt. Check about that. So spread the COVID-19 era, the per debt size of the bankrupt cases, bankrupt companies reducing. So not big companies going to bankrupt and the bankrupt numbers decreasing, being bankrupt ratio is stable. So that's current Japan, right? So how about the public companies? No, some people are interested in that stock market or listed companies. But this is spread the COVID-19 era. Total public company in Japan is almost 4,000. But only one companies in each year, they went bankrupt. This year is zero. Spread the COVID-19, not so companies, huge public companies going to bankrupt. Compare with that bubble economy era, this says a very big economic condition era. But of course, these 4 years, zero. But starting the bubble economy, 5 companies, 3 companies. So not so big number, but compared with this era, recent few years, especially spread the COVID-19, not public companies going bankrupt. So that is Japan. Okay. So personal bankruptcy, how about the individual person, not the companies? How is it? So it's also decreasing spread the COVID-19 era. So let's compare with the United States situation in Japan. Total companies name number in the United States and Japan, they are almost double. So their number is double to us. That's the same, but Japan is really so 1/3 or something. So very low compared in the United States. United States bankrupt cases increasing so much. Japan is decreasing. So how about the national tax? Check about that. Because tax income is influenced by that corporate income, individual person's income. So this one is a local tax. Japan's of course the local tax and the government tax. Total amount of the local tax is increasing spread the COVID-19 era. Orange one is a total amount. Green one is a city and village. And the blue one is that prefecture one. But anyway, total amount is increasing. But the more interesting point is national tax trend. National tax is coming from that corporate income, individual person's income, and consumption tax. So during the bubble economy, that was highest ever at that era. But look at this one, lost 30 years. This era is decreasing, but this one's a Riemann shock era. But look at the recent 10 years or something. That is increasing so much compared with bubble economy. Of course, higher than that. And that corporate tax, not corporate tax, sorry, national tax income is highest ever after the World War II. So very highest amount. Everything increasing that the black one is consumption tax, pink one is that individual income, and this one is that corporate tax. So everything's tax income is increasing means every income is increasing. So that is the result of our economy. Then how is the GDP ranking? It says that GDP ranking, Japan became 4. Before that, German was number 4, but Japan was switched with the German, then decreasing number 4. But is it true? So important point to monitoring the GDP. This is nominal GDP data. So that's decreasing. But look at this one. This one is dollar base. Domestic purchase, but dollar base. So compared with real base data in the same year's announcement, Japan was still number 3. But please announce that Japan decreasing number 4, not number 3. How come? So important point is yen base nominal GDP this year between only 2 months. So revised figure because that they are estimated, preliminary estimated was maybe increasing 1%, but really rate is more than 2% increasing. Also that personal consumption, that estimation is that increasing 0.2, but really double, 0.4% increasing. So this one is a nominal GDP per person that is decreasing. It is says this year was number 2 around the world. But now that 22. But this one is dollar base. So yen was less than 80 yen at that time. Now more than almost 150, almost double. But this rate is compared with the previous 20, 30 years, not so low. So somebody has a question overnight? So, or is it okay to answer at the finished presentation?
Yes,
Is
it's
it okay?
Professor. You can
Yeah.
continue to finish
Okay, I can continue. So this one's diffusion index. Diffusion index is that the manager of the company feel current economic conditions good or bad. The difference between that good is more than bad, this ratio is coming plus, upper part. But the manager think about current economic conditions bad number is more than good, then this chart going down. So spread the COVID-19 only half year, 6 months or something. So many companies, it is depending on the industry, feel bad. But as soon as 6 months or 10 months or something, all managers, all management, the CEO of the company feel that it's good, better. So last year, it mentioned that it's decreasing so much, but this ratio is still higher than the recent 20 years or something. So all managers or CEO of the company think about current economic condition is good. Most of them think about it's good. So how about the wages? It is said that Japanese wages, salary is decreasing. Is it really? This is the ratio of the part-time and full-time. Part-time and full-time ratio is not so much changing, right? So not increasing the part-time ratio, but press or news says that Japan part-time is increasing. That is, we feel that full-time ratio is decreasing and part-time is increasing, but not the ratio. Ratio is the same. Okay. So important point is that the increasing the ratio means that working women's number is increasing in Japan. It was not so popular that women after 60 have a job or part-time job, but it's quite boom. So senior workers, more than 60 or something, they are start to work. So increasing that senior workers number so much. So total workers in Japan is increasing 69 million. Okay, so senior person is 2 million and increasing 340,000 in compared with the last year before. But interesting point is women's are working. This one's non-full-time workers is increasing. Men is not so much. That is Japan. So Ministry of Health says that how about the wages? Wages not increasing in Japan, but it's already announced in June this year. Cash wages is average is 348,000 yen. That's so expensive, increasing about 3% compared with in 2023. Then recent, that is the highest increasing in the recent 33 years. And also that increasing ratio is 3.7. That is so high. It's announced in July this year. And summer bonus, Japan has that kind of incentive payment. Average is 990,000. Average is 990,000 yen incentive will be paid. That's so great. So conclusion, that's real economic condition in Japan. How do you think about it? You look at these data, but looks very good and continue to grow. Even if microeconomics data always says that that's a microeconomics, not that worsen and bad, but the real data is so good. So important point is if you analyze that financial data, analyze that corporate position, use that financial data, important point is that country or economic condition compared with that kind of data, how much they influence to these data. That's a point of my presentation. Okay, thank you so much. So please ask any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Cindy, for the insightful,
Yes.
wonderful, and presentation. So we now open for discussion. So anyone, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and also open your mic and open the camera. I think we have one question in chat box from Wong Tax Advocate. So Pak Wong text. Pak Wong asked about how about the issue that investor from Singapore nowadays move their investment to Japan. Can Professor tell about the issue? That's true. Thank you.
So that kind of issue is what is the issue? So that is very difficult because as I mentioned that so many Japanese newspapers or press announce that so much issues of Japanese economic condition. But I cannot prove that issue. There's no data of that issue because all economic conditions good, corporate profit is increasing, salary is increasing, and also that workers' hands is increasing because we need the hands because economic conditions so good. So most difficulty in Japan or facing issues of Japanese economy is needs more hands. But Japanese birth rate, as you know, that 1.2, so decreasing next generations, younger generation hands we need. So that is big issue of Japanese economy right now. So we welcome the person coming from Indonesia to Japan.
Right. Maybe we can also come to Japan, right?
Yes, yes, we welcome.
Okay. For the next question, there is anyone will be asked. You can open your camera and raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Maybe can I ask your one question, Professor?
Okay.
Okay. So um as we know that we have in Indonesia also we through the post pandemic era also like we survive in the company we have survived also in the post pandemic COVID-19 and in Indonesia that um have a small enterprise and struggle to survive. So, what the lessons that we can uh, increase in the survive from the post pandemic for the small enterprise because small enterprise have limited for the loan, also limited for the equity. So how that the small enterprise can survive? Learn from the Japanese corporate.
What does it mean that limited of the loan? Because bank has very open to make a loan,
Mhm.
but corporate side, company side don't want to borrow the money. So not limited because they have enough space, enough how can I say it? Enough budget to expand and continue their business. So why means that FRB United States says that Japanese companies accumulated profit so much, so their retaining earnings is increasing so much, so reduce that. But after spread the COVID-19, FRB United States mentioned that look at Japanese companies. You do not reduce the equity, but accumulate the profit for your further business. So that is a Japan business way is very good. They mentioned that. So reducing the loan means that they can they can borrow the money. They have enough asset. They can borrow the money, but they don't want to. Once they borrow the money, they have to repay in the future. Spread the COVID-19, income is reducing, so difficulty to repay for that. So according to our experiences, company do not want to make a loan, so they have enough budget, enough asset in their hands. So, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, understand. Okay, so all right. So there's no many like there's many open for the loans like so yeah. Okay, we move to the next question from the Pak Wong. Pak Wong have a more question, Professor. So thanks for the explanation. One more question. Do you know about the business in Japan named Izumio and business that produce the vitamin or supplement product named Lutena? And also, what is the prospect in the future business in Japan nowadays? Maybe the kind of product Japan product.
Japan product perspective? What do you mean? I cannot understand that.
I think
Prospect in the future business in Japan? Japanese, so I think that the Japan, that's so difficult because Japan is, as you know, that co-work with another country. So production itself, with some of them is not produced in Japan. So, how to think about kind of the Japanese products? What do you mean?
um I think that the business that produce the vitamin and supplement product and what the prospect of that. I think it's all of the Oh, this is the one of the oh
I got
multi-level marketing business in Japan.
marketing business.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean that they were the marketing business? So because that, for instance, Japan has a very, as you know, that Suntory whiskey, they had quite special market uh technology, and so many people purchase their goods, but that is B2C business. But Japan is more B2B business. That is so high income and highest technology they have. So
All right. So in Japan,
for instance, so this additional question is that one, highest debt to the GDP ratio.
mm-hmm. Okay. I think for the Pak Wong, so the answer is about the in Japan it's more B2B a business, right? Yes. Okay, we continue for the next question. And from the Agnia, Bu Agnia, wonderful presentation, Prof. Cindy, clear data rich and highly actionable. If you were to build a simple early warning dashboard for the post-COVID small enterprise, what are the top 3 monthly indicator you priority to predict collapse risks?
Data should coordinate the top 3 monthly indicator.
Top 3 monthly indicator for the predict some risks in the business.
So that according to my personal analysis is that they not collapse but predict the worst financial position or facing a risk. The retaining earnings to the total asset is that each company is very important. So I can show you that the graph that is the I can show you that. I can show you that my graph that is, I cannot share it. Oh, okay, I cannot share. So retaining earnings, the total asset is very key point to, how can I say that? Not predict, but, predict collapse or risk or something. But that is my research point. But on the other hand, economic condition, that chart I show you is real economic condition in Japan. So real economic conditions, I check about that. So many companies or average of the all public companies, non-public companies accumulating their profit internally. So that comes to the avoid collapse risk. So basically, they do not have enough knowledge about the management. All managers not like that, but basically they have to thinking about anyway not borrowing the money. Borrowing the money cause that high risk. Then not to borrow the money, but they continue the business. They have to accumulate their profit internally in their pocket. So that can stop to collapse or bankruptcy. So most important indicator, so analyze that their future risk is how much retaining earnings to the total asset, retaining earnings they accumulated. That is a key point. Is it okay?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prof. Cindy. We continue to our for the next question. From Pak Unpati, Pak Aldino Girsang. Professor, Japan has one of the highest debt of the GDP ratio in the world. In this context, what is the most difficult challenge for Japan in avoiding national bankruptcy? And also, what extent are its solutions such as monetary easing, tax reform, or demographic policy effective in the long term?
That's nice question. Japan, that means Japan government. Japan government debt to the GDP is so high. Maybe this question is like that, right? So each corporate does not have a debt. But what is a debt? National bond, government issue that so much national bond means that debt of Japan government. So it is says that Japan, that kind of debt size is so huge. But important point, what is that debt or bond? Who purchased, who owned this debt? In Japan, compared with the United States or another country, so another country's corporate, not corporate, government debt purchased that so many countries' people, not only that their nationality, but Japan, almost 98, 99% of the government debt owned by Japanese person. So that debt is the liability of the government used for the Japanese people. So that money coming from all people's uh, pocket to use for these person. So always we says that in a from left pocket to pay debt and put that income to right pocket. So in case of Japanese debt is very different source. So that money, why Japanese people purchase that kind of government bond? Because they have so much cash. Individual person has so much cash in their pocket. So sometimes senior person passed away, then the house is broken, then take it out, all goods, then find some garbage in the house. What is that? Check about that. Oh, that's the bill, paper bill. So many people are storing, not save the money in the bank, but store in the house. So they don't have way to use this money. So they purchase bond. Senior person also quite boom to purchase that bond, government bond. So it's a very long line if that government start to sell that bond. But that is, of course, sounds dead, but that is rotated internally in the country. So that is really different point of view of the debt size of the national bond or government debt compared with another country. Do you understand this one?
Okay. How about Pak Aldino? I think that's already in understand for the answer. Okay. We move to the next question. Maybe we have two question left. Yeah. First, from Pak Tommy that already raised hand. Maybe Pak Tommy can open your mic. So Pak Tommy.
Okay, thank you for the moderator. Miss Cindy, I have a question maybe for the Japanese. We saw that the Japanese news for recent is about a lot of protested about the Indian worker or something like that. And I would like to know, is that any possible chance maybe for the Indian worker is replaced for the Indonesian workers, maybe like something like it that maybe any possibility, because I think it is some of the headness or maybe some of the misperception about the Indian worker. Maybe the Indonesian worker is maybe more better rather than Indian. It is the first things, and the second things is that any something that Indonesian maybe can be more export or import to Japan, and what is kind of the maybe UMKM or maybe a small industry can be joined with the Japanese industry, because I think sometimes the Japanese is famous about the heavy industry, but how about the small industry that for cooperation with the Indonesian? That's things that we need to know. Thank you, Miss Cindy.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Not why you mentioned that India, the person coming from the India, but I think that we welcome the people from Indonesia because Japan and Indonesia, as you know, that very strong relationship for long, long years, right? So, for instance, as you know that some words from mera in Bahasa Indonesia, tapi, we are using the same words. So many words, so many foods are quite similar and coming from Indonesia to Japan during the Edo era. So we have a very strong relationship. So India is during that era was governed by England. So Japan has a so much close relationship in Indonesia. So we welcome people coming from Indonesia. But I wonder that why Indonesian people does not come to Japan. So to the school, working, anything, we welcome so much, I think. Yeah. What is one more question you said? I forgot.
Yeah. Maybe is there any possible of cooperation for the Japanese small industry to Japanese? Maybe that's still maybe the Japanese is really need from the Indonesian that still empty that not yet be fulfilled by the Indonesian. That maybe any possibility about the export import or something like it. Maybe Miss.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. There's so many possibility, and as you know that Indonesia is a more strong relationship with Japan government because, for instance, ODA funding, not all the ODA funding, but some big, uh, not shopping mall, I forgot, town, city, city development, and Amtrak train, everything that is funding from Japan. As you know that, so many money come into that Indonesia. So I think that relationship between Indonesia and Japan is so strong. So there's so much opportunity if that Indonesian companies working together with Japanese companies. I think that's so much possibility. I believe that.
Maybe for the more specific is about in terms of research. I think is that any maybe what's kind of maybe the research that the Japanese need from the Indonesian people that seems that really potential for research. I think.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry I could not hear you well. I think that anyway that originally that connection between, for instance, Eon, do you know that Eon Mall? Eon.
Sorry, Miss Cindy. In terms of research, I mean research.
So anyway, Japan developed that huge shopping mall, 3, 4 places, and there's a Aeon or Japanese supermarket, and co-working together with the Indonesian companies. So I think there's so much possibility to work together with.
I mean, in the term of research, maybe any that maybe novelty or something like the research that maybe the Japanese seems that need from Indonesia or Indonesian need from Japanese that maybe still not yet fulfill for the research in the term of the research. I mean, maybe in accounting or research was the topic that seems that really maybe a potential for cooperation with the Japan.
Yeah, I think I believe so, and
Any topic
still
maybe.
co-working together with, but so much potential we have. That's right. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, Prof. Cindy, maybe I mean that potential for the research topic, maybe for sustainability or something like anything that maybe seems that still have a possible that not yet fulfilled by the Japanese to work on the in the term of research with the Indonesian. Maybe can you disclose maybe something that maybe yes something that maybe novelty or something like that potential about the research that maybe can be join together with Japan.
Yeah. So if you're interested in so that kind of the co-work business or that kind of platform established, let's write a paper and join. I can provide that Japanese information more. So I think that's so much possibility and still working so much because I was supporting the JICA project and also Shimano's group working together with. So I visited Indonesia so many times, but there's so many possibilities to co-work with Japanese companies.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cindy. Maybe back to the moderator. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
please send me an email if you have a more,
Yeah.
exchange the information with me. Please send me an email.
Yeah. Maybe I will not again because I really something that maybe interesting about research, maybe some research to the Japanese about the sustainability or maybe about the fraud and about audit. Is
Yeah.
that any what's kind of topic that maybe really interesting topic
Yeah.
maybe you still need from the Indonesian
Yeah.
in the term of
That's-
research? I
that's-
mean.
That's very important point. So the very important point. So yes. So please send me an email.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Cindy. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Pak Tommy. We continue for the next question from Pak Gede Teguh Prasetya. I can ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Miss Elga. Hello, Professor. I would like to ask a question. Beyond financial performance, Professor, what is non-financial indicators that can predict a company bankruptcy in Japan, whether company can survive a crisis or not, Professor? So I would like to ask, is there any non-financial indicator that can predict this? Thank you, Professor.
Okay. I also analyzed that non-financial data compared with financial data. And is it some keywords to disclose when they disclose that in advance? But there's a some I could find. But compared with the financial number, financial rating, and non-financial data, finally, important point is financial position. So companies, before certain period before they're going to bankrupt, they announce some words, some news, but at that time, if their financial position is very good, but suddenly they're going to bankrupt, we don't have that kind of cases. So there, it is boom to explain so many datas, narrative datas. Government forced to disclose that environment report, risk management report, so many reports. Then we analyze but using AI of that kind of the data, but basically correlated to that the financial position, worse financial position companies cannot do that good behavior of the environment issues because they don't have enough money. So compare with that their rating of financial position of their disclosure words, then were not so good financial position group announced that their sentence or narrative was, we are going to, we try to, or something like that. But better financial group says that we already done, we report something. So of course, compare with that narrative information, but facing difficulties, companies cannot write good words, of course. But more easiest way to analyze it is check about financial position. That is correlated with the financial position. But I already had been done that kind of analysis of because Japanese word analysis is a little bit so difficult. So I analyzed that kind of things using AI. But the result is, as I mentioned, that basically that financial position is important. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor Cindy. So we should analyze both financial performance and also non-financial aspect and a narrative using an AI to help us analyze better. Okay, understood, Professor. Thank you.
Yeah. Please try to analyze Indonesian companies. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Gede Teguh, for the question. And we have two questions left, Professor? There's a two question more. Can we continue for the question? Okay, is it okay? So, the next question is from the Pak Halida. What the challenge are company facing in Japan today?
What is the
Challenge.
challenge?
Yeah.
So many difficult questions. Now, as you know that, for instance, you know that Astra Toyota, so Toyota, or that kind of automotive, or you know that Suzuki motor car, automotive car. That is, so the challenging is that most of Japan is so tiny company, so do not consume all products internally. So most of them is exported to the country, right? So sometimes this time United States that import tax is increasing or something that is facing difficulty. So try to challenge, but in case of Japan, compare with Indonesian land, that land space is so tiny, population is so small. So if that economic is good, means that not consume everything internally in domestic. So challenge is how to not to fight with, but how to negotiate, how to discuss with other countries to smooth export, not import, but export. That is a big issue for us. So internally, Japanese economy or Japanese people is really not rich but very good. It is said, press says that Japanese economy is not so good or poor kids or something. That is not true. Kindergarten student has a cell phone. So that is Japan. So Japan next challenge is how to negotiate with other countries, export goods, especially the tax income. That is a big issue for us, I think. But not particular target to sell this product to this company or country. We do not have that kind of things, I think.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think this is the last question. Uh, from Pak Wong. This is just asking your experience in economic professors. So, what do you think about the decision of the ministry in Indonesia? Because we have a 200 trillion that the ministry will be give to the Indonesia banker. So, what the effect of for the Indonesian economic for the future?
I okay. I had been monitoring Indonesian economy for 40 years or something in the recent 4 years. As you know that the economic conditions growing so high. So when I visit Indonesia for the first time was 1971. So I remember that uh, town or city area, what are the people doing, and only we are stay at Hotel Indonesia. Only that place we can stay. But so I'm monitoring that, not monitoring, but watching that this Indonesia for recent this 50 something years. Not only city Indonesia, but another island or the not countryside, but all other places. So rich. Rich means their mind and always they are feeling that peaceful and support each other. So that can encourage each person to grow up Indonesia. So I think that compare with that, for instance, a European country or Southeast countries, that's really different from Indonesia is quite special because their Islamic mind is always supporting each other. So that can grow up Indonesia like this. So I think that the in the future we are really looking forward to the grown up of Indonesia. Maybe GDP is more than Japan. So their position is so high. But at the background of that Indonesian situation, people's mind is really different. So try to support each other and encourage each other. That can make countries grown up. So we would like to learn that kind of mind from Indonesia to Japan. I think that's a really good point. So I'm still really looking forward to next grown up of Indonesia. That's my request, and I'm looking forward to.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. I think we have a limited of the time, so we have to closing our material today. So I think I have to make some conclusion for this your material. So we have several lessons that important of using multiple indicator to measure economic health, and also the value of AI financial analysis, and the need to question conventional narrative through the evidence-based research. And also, the real economic condition in Japan is very good and continue to grow, even if the macroeconomic data appear to worsen. So we need to develop the skill and sense to analyze the evaluate the country economic condition from an evidence-based perspective. So
Yeah.
on behalf of ICMA, we sincerely thank you, Professor Cindy, for the sharing your expertise. So really wonderful. So we have a many knowledge today. So have insightful. So thank you so much, Professor Cindy.
Thank you so much. Terima kasih. And saya mau jalan ke Indonesia. Saya suka Indonesia. So thank you so much. Then I'm really appreciate Dr. Ralph Jingting give me this opportunity. So anyway, that looking forward to seeing you in Indonesia. Thanks. Terima kasih ya. Makasih.
Ya, terima sama-sama, Professor
Thank you,
Cindy.
Prof.
Come to Indonesian. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm Elga as a moderator. I will be back to this session to MC. Thank you for all participants. So we look forward for the future academic collaboration in Prof. Cindy, and also everyone is already welcome to in ICMA. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, hati-hati ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very
Hati-hati.
much, Miss Elga, for skillfully leading the discussion and facilitating such an engaging Q&A session. We truly appreciate your guidance and in enriching today's program. Now, allow me as the MC to continue and guide us to the next agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of today's international guest lecture, let us extend our heartfelt appreciation to our keynote speaker, Professor Cindy Yoshiko Shirata, for the insightful presentation on survival or collapse of the Japan's company after the COVID-19 pandemic era, predicting corporate fate through data analytics. The knowledge and perspective you have shared today have truly enriched our understanding of how companies can navigate under uncertainty and build resilience for the future. We would also like to express our gratitude to the committee and of course to all participants who have joined and contribute to the success of this event. Before we officially close, a few important reminders. Please don't forget to fill out the attendance and the evaluation list before leaving. And for those who wish to become part of the ICMA, we warmly welcome you. You may register through the link provided in the chat box or official flyer. And on behalf of ICMA, I would like to thank you for being part of our 4th anniversary celebration. May the knowledge we gain today inspire us to face future challenges with a greater wisdom and resilience. With that, I officially close this session. Have a wonderful day and see you at the next ICMA event. Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Terima kasih. Thank
Terima
you.
kasih.
Profesor.
Thank you.
Hati-hati.